I want to go across, and now joining me in this telecast is Amos Yadlin. He's a former head of Israel's defense intelligence. Thank you so much for joining us on that, Ms. Amos Yadlin. My first question to you, what is your understanding about what kind of strikes are these? Because why precisely hit military targets in Iran? Why do you think the IDF has done it?
This is for sure a retaliation for Iran launching 181 ballistic missiles on October 1st to Israel. Israel and any other country cannot tolerate such an attack, which was the largest ballistic missile barrage ever launched in a military conflict at one night. Israel was about to retaliate, took about 3.5 weeks to reach exactly to the plan of attack, and it's happened tonight. The strategic goal was to achieve and to establish deterrence. It was coordinated with the US. The US has to approve the attack. Israel independently is deciding, but Israel listened very carefully to the American concern and not to attack energy sites or infrastructure and not to attack the nuclear sites. But since Iran at least claiming that they attack Israel military installations and the Mossad headquarters on October 1st, Israel has a menu of air defense, ballistic missiles, drones, and other Iranian military target. And I think the interesting question this afternoon is whether it's a closing attack or an attack that will bring an escalation.
So let me ask you that then. What do you think, Amos Yadlin? That do you think this could become a bigger regional conflict? Till now, Israel is battling a multi-pronged, multi-front war, which is with Hamas, Houthis, Hezbollah. But Iran getting directly involved with Israel could actually change the game. Do you think Israel is prepared to face a full-fledged attack by Iran?
Of course. Israel was attacked twice directly from Iran in April 13 and October 1st. And Israel prepared how to deal with Iran in the last 20 years. When I was still in service, we developed the intelligence capabilities and the Air Force capabilities to hit Iran and other dimensions of war. The question is, why Iran, who was behind all the military attacks on Israel, from Gaza, from Lebanon by Hezbollah, from the Houthis, from the Shia militia in Syria and Iraq, why Iran will not pay the price of being behind all this war and all this attack about Israel? Still, I'm saying Israel was limited in its attack tonight, but it gave Iran the idea and the knowledge that they are very vulnerable. Look, Iran fired in April and in October, in 2 nights, more than 500 projectiles, more than 300 ballistic missiles, cruise missiles against Israel, and they hardly achieved anything. Israel, in a very precise attack, not even, I think, 50 munitions, 60 maybe, achieved all its goals and destroy Iran air defense and destroy Iranian factories that produce missiles and rockets that is sent to Russia.
Also, but they recently managed to strike a location where it appeared that Benjamin Netanyahu and family could be. They weren't. Eventually, of course, that was confirmed, and that they have also survived what looked like an attempt of assassination. But I do have one concern here, that the war is happening, and whether it's Iran or Israel, they are doing what they deem fit to protect their territory. But eventually, what about the hostages? Amos Yadlin, what do you think should happen? What is happening on that front? I understand more details cannot come out, but many are wondering about the women, children, young girls, boys who are still possibly in Gaza. And what do you think? Do you think that also is what time is running out about?
I think you touch the most important issue for me and for many Israelis, because this is our moral obligation to bring these people back from the tunnels and the torture and the sexual harassment and the hunger that they are suffering in Gaza in the hand of terror organization. However, we are now involved in a war in three fronts: Gaza, Lebanon, and Iran, and also some other low-intensity fronts from Yemen, Syria, and Iraq. It is time for Israel to use the leverages, the huge achievement since September and October, basically destroying Hamas, killing Sinwar, its leader, the archi-terrorist, the war criminal, then killing all the leadership of Hezbollah and destroying most of their long-range missiles. And what happened this night in Iran, it is time to take this impressive military achievement and transform them into a political.
But that would be my last question here, sir, because while Israel says, or IDF says, that most of the leadership of Hamas, Hezbollah has been now neutralized, but you've headed the Israeli intelligence. You would also be aware that that's not going to wipe out either the Hezbollah ideology or the Hamas ideology, or the Houthis for that matter, that there could be a fresh rise, there could be a continuation of it, there could be the next in line already cropping up. So what do you think then that needs to be done to ensure peace and stability comes to the region?
I think Israel deterrence was re-established, and all these organizations that you mentioned will stop the war when Israel will agree to stop the war. But now they are not agreeing on the conditions, on the parameters to stop the war. Israel has now a huge leverage. It can agree to stop the war with the right conditions, both in Gaza, returning the hostages, and in the north, removing Hezbollah from the Israeli borders and able the residents to come back. It is up to the Israeli government to decide that the war objectives were established, were achieved, and it's time to move to diplomacy and to a political resolution. It should be done under fire. It should not be done under ceasefire, because then the enemy will not agree on anything.
Okay.
But I think due to the achievement, if it will continue the same vector, we can end this war quite in the coming months.
All right, you say it's coming months, but I think it's been a year already. In fact, many years already ongoing back and forth. But we hope there'll be peace and stability. I appreciate sharing your perspective and experience. Amos Yadlin, thank you very much. Our hope for peace for people across the region will continue here from India. Thank you very much for speaking.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure.